I would love to have a ride in one day. So that was an absolute pleasure to work on. And it was also really good to work with Danny on it, because obviously I work quite closely with Danny. And it was just basically like a really, really nice backwards and forwards of like, hey, let's try this, and how about this texture for the seat, and let's go a little bit old school, like the steering column, and but like let's mix it up a bit with having some sci-fi retro feel, and it's just an absolute pleasure to actually have that freedom to just go a little bit full ham on it. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's great.
Thank you for sharing the insights of the creation. You know that the community calls the Opel Jet the Space Lambo, so I guess that everyone loves
Yeah.
it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's like
There,
it's absolutely my pleasure.
sure. I've seen some of the upcoming concepts you've worked on as well, and yes, unfortunately, we can't share too much about it right now. Really excited for the reveal of those as well.
Yeah, honestly, like usually, as I say, a lot of the places where I've worked off last are very constrained and very like headstrong, where they want to see a certain thing. But here, I've been actually been able to have the flexibility of going to Danny and going like, hey, can I just try this? Do you think this will work? And he's like, go for it. And to actually have someone have your back like that is really, really cool. Like, it's just so nice to be able to be like, right, I know I can go with Danny with this. It might seem a bit crazy, but let's just try it and see if it works. And that's how we ended up with the jet folding in the way it does, and all the centerpiece folding out. And yeah, it was just so much fun. It's so much fun.
I'd love to hear that. And, I think it does kind of raise a question. We have quite an extensive art team right now working directly with Danny. And I'm kind of curious if, I think the perception a lot of times is that the artists are kind of, down in the trenches by themselves, focusing on their art. But what is your interaction like with other members across the art team and production team?
Well, Gary, I've known for a long time. So, and he's on this project, my art director. So it's really nice to like bump into him again and actually work with him directly, because obviously we've got a good history together, and obviously working with the other artists as well. Obviously you can't see our Discord, but we always go on going, oh hey man, that's so cool. How have you done this? And just having a really nice backwards and forwards of other artists of like certain techniques, how you approach something differently, because every artist works differently. And it's really cool to actually, as an artist, get into the mind of another artist, especially because, as you say, we can be quite isolated sometimes. So when you end up either bumping into people, another guy as well as Mike Oberschneider, I've worked with him in the past. So again, I always jump on. I'm like, hey, Mike, how have you done this? And yeah, it's just great to just work with really like-minded and friendly artists again, and just pick the brains.
I love it. Well, really appreciate you being up here. You've been great at it, and love to see that you're coming up on 1 year anniversary. And again, just thank you for joining us up here on stage today and sharing a little bit about your life, both background and with Star Atlas. So thanks again.
Oh no, my pleasure. Anytime. As I love doing these. They're great.
Awesome. I think going into the future, guys out there in the audience, obviously we are operating on Discord right now. The downside to Discord is that we don't really have the opportunity through these amphitheaters to provide any type of visual display or screen sharing, or even seeing the people behind the avatars and the icons. So going into the future, especially as we roll out things like the showroom, hopefully we'll be able to bring more interactive experiences to you all. So with that, we do have Chip up here, and Chip, you've been, you're very close to the upcoming feature releases this year. Any updates you want to share with us from the game design perspective?
Yeah, so this week's been jam-packed with prioritizing our feature releases for this year. We're really trying to get right the scope of the near-term releases, and then the roadmap of how they all are interdependent, and the order in which we're releasing them. So hesitant to give any details because we're in the process of finalizing that, and then we'll most likely update our roadmap with better and more clear guidance on the gameplay as we're releasing it. But I do want to tease that I was putting together an alpha drop for this town hall. Didn't quite get it done. I'll say that it's about the map and the risk zones. So I'm planning on having that ready for the next town hall, so you guys can look forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, man, very cool. And there was an official reveal of the security zones and the factions and the layout of the universe, and it was pretty fun seeing the community speculation and the previously imagined universe relative to the way that we had internally designed it. So, any additional thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love, like, it kind of sparked, we had a lot of questions about how the risk zones are oriented, and we were talking about the security zone and the medium risk zone and the high risk zone and the cataclysm, and it was really confusing to the player base because there was like, well, I can't really visualize what this looks like. So we kind of teased what it looks like in the foundation room, but we're planning on having a more official reveal, and then I'd like to drop more alpha about those risk zones, about targeting next town hall.
That's great, man. It's cleared through comms. So without further ado, Santi, yeah, I think it was really great to meet some people, and we probably should take some time here and roll into Q&A.
Yeah, really happy to have everyone here on stage. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Dan. And of course, Michael. Thank you for taking the time to be here with the community, just updating us on everything that is happening. We really appreciate it. I think I speak in the name of the whole community. So thank you.
I appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without the community, and everything that we're doing is for you guys out there. So I would just likewise say thank you all for attending, taking some time out of your day to join us, to hear about the updates, and to meet some of the team and learn more about what we're building here and what our true ambition and vision is for this. So thanks everyone for being here.
Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We will start letting people in to ask questions. You can ask a question to anyone here on stage. So, yep, I will start inviting people. I invited Carl from the Spanish-speaking community.
Hi there.
Hello, Carl. How are you?
Thank you, man. Thank you for the opportunity. First time here. I'm Carl, co-founder of Chimera. Chimera is the largest Hispanic guild in the Metaverse, and it's a pleasure for me to be here. Well, my question is regarding to servers. We have many Star Citizen players, and as you may know, Star Citizen has been stuck with server capacity since 16, I think. They can support more than 50 players at the same time in the same server. My question is, how do you plan on preparing server to support thousands of players? Thank you.
Well, Carl, welcome. It's great to have you up on stage for the first time, and really appreciate your support of Star Atlas. And we have seen definitely a large migration of users from existing MMOs like Eve and like Star Citizen over to Star Atlas. Unfortunately, I can't really specifically answer your question right now. What I would say is it's an area that we are dedicating a lot of time of R&D into. Again, thinking about even something like one of our Titan class ships, where we're going, it's going to be possible of accommodating hundreds of players, maybe thousands of players, and central space stations where we want to see even more concurrent users than that. It's of utmost importance to us. Now, we're very early on in this R&D. I think the primary comment or feedback that I can provide to you right now, and I don't want to misspeak here, but Star Citizen developed out its own game engine in the creation of that product. Fortunately, we're working with Unreal Engine 5, and there's a lot of plugins and modules and third-party integrations that we can leverage that should benefit us going into the future in terms of scalability of player base and ability to accommodate those multiple concurrent users. So it's kind of a non-answer. I can't really give you too many specifics on it. I would maybe defer here to either Chip or, Sarah wasn't working on the technical team at Star Citizen, but she did work on the art team. And so if either of you two have a comment there, I'd welcome you to respond.
No, I guess the only comment I can make, full disclosure, I'm not on the technical team, so I'm speaking from just what I've overheard, is that there is this emphasis on, there's going to be gameplay and certain interactions on the blockchain, and then there's going to be things that are going to be hosted on traditional MMO servers, and we're in the process of balancing those two requirements. We certainly wouldn't want to stray from our vision of having this decentralized server and gameplay hosted on the blockchain, but there's certain limitations associated with that. So we're also exploring hosting some of the more non-transactional gameplay elements on MMO type robust server infrastructure. So that's really the only extra color I can provide to that question.
Yeah, that is helpful, Chip. And I guess to clarify on that a little bit, I mean, there will be some centralized services behind this product and this concept initially. However, you know, one of the core differentiators that we have as a team is that, and I described this actually for anyone that was listening in on the BGA Blockchain Gaming Alliance game demo just immediately before this, is there's really multiple directions a team can take to build out a so-called blockchain game. The implementation that we're seeing right now, most prevalent, is a pretty basic one. It's building out a video game in a traditional format using a game engine like Unity or Unreal Engine, and then possibly introducing NFTs as the asset base across that game. That's the easiest to accommodate because it's essentially providing the ability for traditional studios to build games as they always have and just introduce a new asset class. The extension of that is then to form a foundational economy that introduces things like cryptocurrency or crypto native assets, which we have, right? So we have the NFTs. We also have Atlas. We have Polis for governance. That's the next extension. The most complicated deployment of this vision is to actually build game logic on chain. Now, anybody interacting with Score today is seeing the first implementation of that. And to my knowledge, there's no other teams that are actually building out a true blockchain game. I've mentioned in the past, some of the benefits of that are synchronicity across various game environments. So somebody that's interacting with an object on their mobile device would be reflected on the web client, and it'd be reflected in Unreal Engine. If you place a building with your mobile phone, somebody using their desktop computer would actually see that item be placed in real time. But this adds a significant degree of complexity to the way that we develop out. However, the benefit to that is that over time, we do have the ability to create this censorship-resistant, fully decentralized ecosystem, which means even in the future, again, this is distant future, but it would be possible, maybe pending R&D, that the game servers themselves, which are traditionally centralized services, can actually be decentralized and operated by the community as well. Therefore, providing and building the architecture and infrastructure in a truly decentralized form. What that means is, not only are players holding Polis and staking Polis able to govern the future of the economy and game design, but the hosting itself of this is actually facilitated by the community, and ownership is delivered to the community. So long-term thinking, but hopefully that helps respond a little bit to some of your concerns.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you for the question, Cole.
Thank you,
Glad to
Santi.
have you here on stage.
Okay.
I will let someone else in. I invited Metagonzo. Metagonzo, feel free to accept the invitation.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome to the stage.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, Michael, can you hear him? I can.
Yes, I can.
Looks like Discord is having some little issues. Some people is saying that they are not listening. So again, if you are listening, please tell me on general chat so we can move forward. I'm checking general chat right now. Okay, yeah, it's working. So it was a little issue. I will let someone else into the stage. I invited Dreaming Dragon. Dreaming Dragon, please accept. Okay, hopefully you can hear us.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you as well.
Hey, everybody. I have a quick question. Ever since, I think it's Steven, right? Is he the one that works in HR?
Yeah.
Steve. Ever since I heard him say egoless servitude, it's really bounced around in my head. And I've talked to a few people from the team, and now listening to the passion of everyone here, it's a very compelling story and a compelling place to work. So I was wondering what your stance is on guild members or guild leaders working at Star Atlas, and if we would have to change our positions to get a job with the company.
Dreamy Dragon, it's a great question, man. And just an immediate response is that we do already have team members that are leaders of guilds. So it's not an area that we want to stifle. An advantage to us is simply the passion that these community members are already bringing to the project. They're bringing innovation to the ecosystem that is Star Atlas through the formation of their guilds and the products and services and features that they're developing for the external community as well, right? So certainly not something that we want to stifle. And Dan, maybe you want to jump in and comment on this a little bit. What is very important to us is that we don't provide any level of disadvantageous position of information to anybody that's on the team. And so we are working extensively on our internal communications policy and how we restrict access to privileged information. But Dan, I see you're unmuted there. Any additional comments?
Yeah. I've actually been working with Kelsey on this, who's on our HR side with Stephen. And we obviously need to balance some concerns here. The first is, as Michael mentioned, that we learn a lot from using our own product, right? From playing the game and using it in the way that it will be possible in the future, which is like very integrated DAC platforms, et cetera. At the same time, we definitely don't want to ever give the impression that we are taking sides or we're doing anything that favors one guild over another, or taking advantage of kind of confidential information about future game design, et cetera. So it is something we are considering very carefully. We're erring currently on the side of being permissive because we haven't seen, and we have no reason to suspect that anybody would abuse inside information. But we are evaluating it constantly, and we will, if needed, adapt our policy. There's a lot of different approaches we can take. We've been looking at what other games have been doing. Like some other games will tag their team members so you can identify who they are in game, or they'll publicize exactly who they are, or they'll have restrictions on the kinds of activities they can undertake, such as maybe they can't join guilds, or they can join guilds but not take a leadership position, et cetera. So we're thinking through a lot of possibilities here. But right now, we definitely encourage active members of the community to be joining our team too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, Dreaming Dragon, for the question. I invited someone else into stage. Lucius Psychos, please accept the invitation. Okay, we have him. Welcome to the stage, friend.
Hello guys, how are you? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor to share this with you and the rest of the Star Atlas community and guild members. My question is related to the gameplay aspect of it all. I have been an EVE Online player since 2006, a Star Citizen player since 2014. And I'm very curious because I know a lot of people from those two communities are very much interested in what Star Atlas has to offer, not only financially, but also game-wise. And they're a little bit, hesitant to jump in because, they might be intimidated by crypto and all the different aspects and verticals that it has. So I was wondering whether or not there is, maybe not now, but in the near future, some kind of a specific effort or a campaign in order to attract those players, because let me tell you, there's a lot of us out there. We might not be financial wizards like you all are, but we are very much into gaming, politics, strategy, logistics, and things like that. So I was wondering if that's something that you're thinking in the future. And thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man, great question. Really appreciate that. I guess let me emphasize first and foremost that our core objective is to develop out and build and deliver a high quality, entertaining gameplay experience. That's our primary focus. Secondary to that is developing out, as a cornerstone and foundation, a solid, robust, and sustainable economy going into the future. This is essential for the continuity of gameplay for many years to come, and is increasingly complex given the open nature of our economy relative to how traditional game environments operate, very much walled garden and closed off. We have to operate our economy as essentially a nation state, kind of the way that countries do, and consider factors like foreign policy and monetary and fiscal policy, as well as things like foreign exchange and import-export. So that adds a degree of complexity to how we model the economy itself. But the gameplay is what's going to be the most fun. It's what's going to attract the users, and the rest, the financial incentives, are just additional benefits that accrue to players. We genuinely, we lost him. I'll continue answering. Hopefully he's able to join back into the chat. But the gameplay is intended to be the core element of what we're building today, and for the first couple of years as we continuously evolve into this open economy metaverse concept. So with respect to our go-to-market strategy and what demographics we market to, the rollout was really targeted largely towards the crypto community. There was a team that provided a webinar that identified really 9 different cohorts, but let me just kind of summarize it into 3. And it's kind of this investor speculator category. These are people that are, call them whales, or people that are fluent in crypto, that have a desire to purchase these assets, whether they want to play with them or not, kind of for the speculative potential of it. There's the play to earn cohort. So these are people from emerging markets, developing nations, really anybody all over the world that identifies play to earn as an opportunity for them to improve their quality of life, to potentially earn more as a form of income than they could earn working a job in their local community, local economy. This has led to the statement around why I believe that we are going to see the largest labor market the world has ever seen. These highly efficient and highly competitive labor markets around the world. And then the third cohort is really the traditional gamer who wants to, maybe doesn't care so much about crypto or DeFi or blockchain or even the financial incentives. They're just looking for a great game to play. Now, we want to be careful and strategic in when we start recruiting and promoting to these various cohorts. We focused heavily on the people that were in the crypto ecosystem because there are things like security concerns. There's financial consequence to not being able to protect your NFTs or protect your crypto. And, Santi, I'm sure we'll close, but, for everyone out there, again, scams are everywhere. So you have to be extremely careful about your interactions with other people across the crypto ecosystem. So we focused on them first. In the presentation of our vision. And what has been really surprising, but also encouraging to us, is that we've seen a lot of traditional gamers already start to associate with the project because they believe in the vision and they believe in the gameplay and the mechanics and what this can become. So going towards the future, though, as we start to deliver more modules that would be really enjoyable and would be interactive with the traditional gamer, then we will start to increase marketing and communications efforts to them. We just don't want to do that prematurely, wherein people might be disappointed with the timeline that it takes to create this superior product that we're building. So unfortunately, we lost him, so you can't get any follow up there. But but again, hopefully that helps.
All right, Michael, thank you for the answer. I'm sorry that we lost our community member who asked the question. But we are already 1 hour in. Do you want to take one more question, or how do you want to manage this, Michael?
Unfortunately, today, Santi, I do have immediately following this. I'm actually quite excited about it. It's an internal demo day with our engineering core, and we're going to be getting some updates on all of those roadmap items that we've been discussing today. So I'm looking forward to getting those updates now, and I do have to hop onto that call in 1 minute.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much. Again, we really appreciate you being here, and everyone here on stage as well. Thanks for joining today. This was the Star Atlas Town Hall. So no further comments from my side. Michael, I will let you add something if you want.
As always, Santi, appreciate you hosting, man. You do a fantastic job. Sarah, Ash, Chip and Dan, appreciate you being up here with me and sharing a little bit of that back kind of stage access and insight. So really appreciate you guys and everybody else on the Star Atlas team. You're doing amazing work, and we really appreciate you. And of course, everyone out there in the community, thanks so much for joining us. And we really look forward to bringing these products out that you guys are going to love.
Yeah, so no extra comments from Michael. We will see everyone right now. Go to Twitter. We are hosting, Ash is hosting the Townhall after party. So I would love to see everyone there. We will discuss about the news dropped on the Townhall, and maybe we can get some extra alpha from some team members. So I really encourage everyone to join. And nothing else. Thank you for joining today. We really appreciate you being here, and power to the people.
And stick it to the man.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, guys.